Thomas Smith, 56 Parkway Drive, Clark. I've been a resident for 42 years. This is in reference to the stadium at Rahway Park. There's two issues here. It's the Rahway, it's the park itself, and the other issue is the stadium. In reference to the stadium, it's going to cause tremendous noise. It's going to cause tremendous congestion with traffic, and it's going to affect the surrounding neighborhoods throughout the area. Also, one of the things I started saying the last time I was at this meeting is that there were 4 nations that conquered the world. The first nation was the Babylonian nation. The second nation was the Persian nation. The second one was the Greek. The third one was the Greek nation. The fourth one was the Roman nation. The Babylonian Empire was conquered by the Persians. The Greeks conquered the Persians. The Romans conquered the Greeks. Rome was never conquered. Rome fell apart within itself for 5 reasons. The first reason, high taxes. The second reason is the dissipation of religion. The third reason is sports, along with pleasure. The fourth reason is families started breaking apart. The fifth reason is too big of an armament. That is the condition that we're in today. We have left the Lord, and what we're doing is we're worshiping sports and pleasure. Getting back to Rahway Park, since 1925, I believe the Lord, through his people, had kept this pristine sanctuary for the people. The people who are under tremendous pressure, stress, and anxiety, they can come to this pristine sanctuary. It is my opinion that in the event that you take this stadium and you put it in the middle of this park, it will be a it'll be an abomination to the Lord. I would consider that during your opening session prayer the next time we talk about the subject. I have nothing more to say.
Thank you very much for your comments. Anyone else wishing to be heard?
Good evening. Julie Holzer, 33 Emerson Road in Clark. This also has to do with, as we are greatly concerned over the proposal to build a stadium in Union County's Rahway Park, located in Rahway, New Jersey. The purpose of the stadium would be the benefit of Rahway's high school's football team. This proposed stadium will feature high stadium lights, stadium sound system, aluminum bleachers for 1,200 people, 3 full-size freestanding buildings for bathrooms and confession stands. Before any building takes place, it is imperative that the following fact sheet be reviewed by everyone involved with this project, as well as all the citizens affected directly or indirectly by this sports arena. There are multiple of homes back-to-back, as well as apartment buildings lining the inside of the park along the perimeters from one end to the other. And then, of course, there are a vast number of private homes on Valley Road and St. George Avenue. The closest cluster of homes to the proposed stadium is exactly 27 feet. The majority of homes located in the park are approximately 50 to 110 feet. All homes mentioned are well under a quarter of a mile from the proposed stadium. There is absolutely no question that this proposed stadium will predictably bring with it the following health hazards, especially to the people who live in such close proximity, and particularly those already suffering health issues. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency defines noise as unwanted or disturbing sound. The major side effects of noise pollution are serious and sometimes surprising. Excessive noise can lead to a whole host of serious health problems. These include coronary artery disease, high blood pressure, stress-related health conditions such as migraines, colitis, and ulcers, decreased sleep and sleep quality. Excessive noise can lead to emotional problems such as mental fatigue, anxiety, and aggression. Another common effect of loud sound on the hearing is tinnitus. Tinnitus is ringing, buzzing, or other sounds in the ear. The leading cause of hearing loss is not aging, but noise. The intensity of the noise volume will increase tremendously by honking horns, car traffic, whistles, loudspeakers, screaming, cheering fans and players, loud music, cheerleaders, and possibly a marching band. Noise levels are measured in decibels. The higher the decibel level, the louder the noise. Sounds that are louder than 85 decibels can cause permanent hearing loss. Noise is generally harmful and a serious health hazard. That comes from the Language and Hearing Association. Cheering fans can push level well into the hundreds. At these levels, it takes between 1 and 15 minutes for the sound to damage your ears. The average football game lasts nearly 3 hours, with noise levels inching toward painful as the excitement increases. The damage is cumulative. The immediate and acute effect of repeated exposure to noise pollution is impairment of hearing. Speaking at the 21st International Congress of Zoology held at the University of Haifa, Israel, Professor Abraham Haim, a leading authority on light pollution, says exposure to light at night affects a circadian rhythm in humans, animals, and plants. Circadian, excuse me for that. Disruption of this natural cycle can result in various illnesses and adverse symptoms. Professor Haim presented data from an animal study showing the adverse effects of exposure to light at night, in which the animals showed varying levels of damage to their metabolic rates, hormone production, body mass, and oxygen consumption following exposure, as well as suppressed levels of melatonin production, which is responsible for tumor growth. Melatonin is a compound that adjusts our biological clock and is known for its antioxidant and anti-cancer properties. Also, it is a fact that suppressing the production of melatonin.
Thank you very much for your
Thank you.
comments. Anyone else wishing to speak?
It's a fact that, I'm sorry, Alice Fernandez, Clark, New Jersey. Also the fact that suppressing the production of melatonin, which is responsible, among other things, for the regulation of our biological clock, causes behavioral disruptions and health problems. In its absence, a person can suffer from chronic fatigue. When people are exposed to frequent artificial light and they do not get enough sleep, melatonin levels are suppressed. Some forms of cancer are thought to be related to melatonin levels. Exposure to even small amounts of stadium lighting can interfere with your body's production of melatonin, which helps regulate your sleep-wake cycle. So light and noise pollution as it relates to sleep deprivation. Sleep disorders and chronic sleep loss can put you at risk for heart disease, heart attack, heart failure, irregular heartbeat, high blood pressure, stroke, diabetes. One night of interrupted sleep wreaks havoc on your mood and energy levels. Small shifts in your sleep cycle may make or break your health. Just one night of interrupted sleep is all it takes to make you feel more depressed, fatigued, and confused, according to new research. But much more than that, sleep deprivation has virtually the same effect on immune system as physical stress or illness. I want to go on to about the traffic, increased traffic and parking, what that's going to do. The massive increase in traffic and parking will be a nightmare. Sporting events will draw Rahway students, family, friends, out-of-towners, and buses. It is inevitable that when there are so many people, so many cars, and not enough parking spaces, major issues are bound to occur. Some are as follows. Security will definitely be needed to control out-of-hand situations which might arise when a number of young people are gathering in one place. Union County Police will definitely be needed to direct a few hundred cars conversion on Rahway Park when games are held. There is only one entrance exit on Valley Road and another entrance exit on St. George's Avenue. If an emergency should occur, ambulances may have problems getting in and out of the park. Additional park attendants will be needed to clean up the stadium as well as the park from litter and trash. People who use the park will be lucky if they can get a place to park during game time. Above all, the increase in car pollution and noise will be intolerable. So to summarize all of the above, noise pollution, light pollution, traffic, and parking, it is apparent that more problems will be created than solved, especially since Rahway River Park is densely populated with homes. Now, no one is objecting to putting a stadium for Rahway High School students to play football. What we are objecting to is location, specifically Union County's Rahway River Park. As stated above, it will impact the health and well-being of all those living around the park. Also, the park is utilized and enjoyed by an enormous number of people of all ages, from babies to seniors. It is quite obvious from the facts that the greater good is being served when people of all ages are enjoying a multitude of activities on a daily basis. In addition, if this proposal were to take place, the entire ecosystem, which is so thoroughly enjoyed by numerous people, is in jeopardy. Sadly, once destroyed, it is gone forever. And I want to close by saying I was here at this last meeting, and I asked 3 times about putting this issue on the ballot and how do I go about it. No one answered me, and I think that's deplorable. I mean, I'm a taxpayer, and as a taxpayer, we pay your salary. So, I mean, how do you not communicate to people who are talking and addressing issues? We had one, and this goes for everybody who got up and talked about the park. Everybody sat silent. Nobody did answer. I just want to say one person asked a very important question. Are you planning to put this stadium, and when? And I want to also say that we, the taxpayers of Union County, have a right to know as well as to vote. A decision of this magnitude needs to be voted on by all taxpayers in the 21 counties. Rahway is just one of those communities. So we have a right to vote on this. It is, after all, our park.
Thank you very much for your comments. Next person wishing to speak. I would say, if those of you who wish to stick around after the meeting, I know last meeting people left before Freehold had an opportunity to speak. You can stick around. Freehold Board may have an answer to one of those questions or a few of those questions. I know some of those questions were answered last time by the board, but everyone left.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Next speaker, please.
My name is Gregory Robert. I live in Elizabeth. I came to the freeholders meeting on September 24th. I stayed to the end of the meeting to hear the freeholders' closing comments. I would like to address some of them now. While commenting on the opposition to the freeholders' plan for Rahway River Park, freeholder Hudak said, I suppose one of the reasons people were able to attract attention to this program in a negative way was it started with the initial decision to say, hey, let's mischaracterize the project and refer to it as a stadium. Because, hey, I live in the 10th Ward in Linden. If I knew MetLife Stadium was being built in Rahway River Park, I'd be advocating against it as well. Those are the words of Freeholder Hudak. I was born in Newark in 1951. My family moved to Hillside in 1955, and I've lived in Union County ever since, 60 years. As a kid, we lived in Hillside. I played popular football. We played our games on Sunday at Hillside High School's football stadium on Coney. It's still there. Hillside beat Fingry there last Saturday. If you ride down Conant Street, you'll see the sign, Woodfield Stadium. It was a stadium 50 years ago. It's a stadium today. Where does Westfield High School play its football games? Keller Stadium, named after the legendary coach Garrett Keller. Freeholder Hudak lives in Linden. Where does the Linden High School team play its football games? Tiger Stadium. But I suppose if Tiger Stadium was built in Warnaco Park instead of on West Curtis Street, you couldn't call it Tiger Stadium anymore. I have no hesitation in calling what is planned for Rahway River Park a stadium. I want to remind Freeholder Hudak that a facility doesn't have to seat 70,000 and have luxury boxes to be considered a stadium. Vice Chairman Bergen said there will be no loss of open space. He talked about the footprint of the planned facility. The handout given out at Hamilton Stage meeting shows the footprint of the proposed facility. The problem is, it is a footprint of a facility while it's not in use. We need to see a footprint while a track competition is in progress. We need to see where the shot put, discus, and javelin will be thrown. At the Hamilton Stage meeting, the representative from the engineering firm confirmed that the shot put, discus, and javelin cannot be thrown on the synthetic turf. In the past, I've used the discus event as an example. On footprint of a facility that's not in use, all you have to show is a discus throwing ring, which is 8 foot 2 inches in diameter. You don't have to show where the 3.5 pound weights remain. On footprint of a facility that has a track competition in progress, you have to show the discus throwing ring plus a fan-shaped landing swath extending over 220 feet into the natural grass part of the park. Let us see a footprint that identifies all the areas that will be required for shot put, discus, and javelin. And I noticed tonight that the frequently asked question sheet has been updated, and it says, will the project knock out at least one baseball field, possibly 3? The answer is no. The upgraded track and field will not encroach on any ball field. Now, is that taking into a fact ongoing competition? And when you're throwing the javelin, can you still say that, or can you only say when nobody's there? We've never gotten an answer to that. We've never gotten an answer to how it's going to be used. I would suggest people go on YouTube, go look at a shot put event, a discus event, a javelin event, and then the next time you're in Rahway River Park, try to picture where these items are going to be landing. Keep in mind that they can't land on the proposed synthetic turf field.
The stadium, people talked about the stadium, and they've been talking about the stadium for many months now, and I don't know if you're listening. I mean, you stand up here and you say, oh yes, we are listening to you, but you can listen to people, but maybe you don't hear them. And that could be a major issue in itself. And just a suggestion, obviously you want to give away a piece of the county land to the town of Rahway. You never did that before to anybody else. So now the county, who's actually the true purpose, as Pat Mochetti mentioned, about taking care of certain things, the infrastructure and such, and taking care of the towns overall. What you're doing, however, you're giving a piece of the property of the county taxpayers and the county residents to Rahway. And probably what you should do is reach out to all 21 towns and ask the town councils to vote on it. Maybe not the people, but since you're doing this for a town of Rahway, then you should have the other 20 towns then vote on it. Maybe that would be fair. people have brought it up to put it on the ballot, but this would actually make more sense since it's a town-related item, not people-related item.